In the mysterious world of insects, there exists an ant known as the strongest of them all. A true giant among its kind. This is the famed bulldog ant, the Australian bull ant. Many even call it the jumping ant. A notorious predator of the Australian wild. For millions of years, it has endured the harshest conditions of nature. And through long evolution, it has risen to become a creature superior in both size and strength. A bulldog ant's body can reach up to 4 centimeters, enormous by ant standards. To visualize that, it's roughly the thickness of 400 crisp banknotes stacked together. That alone makes it a terrifying force in the tiny world of insects. But size isn't its only weapon. It carries tools designed for killing. Powerful jaws, like a wild dog, and a sharp stinger packed with venom. This is the lethal arsenal that makes the bulldog ant a ruler of its territory. Watch as a lone bulldog ant sets off on a hunting mission. It moves like a solitary lion, unafraid of any challenger. Unlike most ants, with poor eyesight, the bulldog ant is blessed with large, highly sensitive eyes. Its vision rivals that of hunting dogs, allowing it to see clearly in almost any lighting condition. It memorizes every detail of its surroundings and charts perfect routes. If prey enters a 1-meter radius, it detects it instantly. And then, an opportunity appears. On a nearby flower, a moth is peacefully drinking nectar. The bulldog ant immediately approaches, carefully choosing a favorable angle without revealing its presence. It studies the scene closely, calculating the moth's size and exact position. Once everything is set, the ambush begins. The moth is lost in the sweetness of nectar, unaware that death is inches away. In a flash, the powerful jaws snap shut around the prey. Their inward curving shape leaves the victim almost no chance to escape. The moth struggles, shaking loose a cloud of fine wing scales to blur the ant's vision. And the trick works. The ant is momentarily blinded, but its strength is overwhelming. Within moments, it regains control and drags the moth into position. To finish the hunt, the bulldog ant unleashes its final weapon. Lifting its abdomen, it drives its needle-sharp stinger into the moth's soft underside. A dose of neurotoxic venom is pumped in immediately. Not enough to kill instantly, but enough to paralyze completely. A moth like this is a rich source of nutrition. Its protein level is 7 times higher than that of a chicken egg, a true feast. But instead of eating on the spot, the bulldog ant chooses to carry the prey home to share with the colony. Even though the moth weighs 3 times its body mass, it can lift 50 times its own weight, making this effortless. The bulldog ant is also one of the few ants capable of hunting alone, without help from the colony. Yet, within its hunting grounds lies a far deadlier creature. Hidden inside a damp, rotting log, this creature can live its entire life without ever leaving its nest. This cool refuge attracts many small insects seeking shelter, only to become unwilling prey. The scattered remains around it are proof of countless kills. This predator is the black widow, an iconic symbol of Australia, and one of the most venomous spiders on Earth. Originally, the black widow was found only in Australia, but through animal trade and astonishing adaptability. Today, it has spread across many countries, with Japan being the most invaded, almost becoming its second homeland. The potency of this spider's venom is truly terrifying. Dose for dose, it is 6 times stronger than king cobra venom. Within that tiny body lie three frightening traits: beauty, venom, and an instinct for territorial conquest. A redback spider prepares for the hunt. Its venom glands mix enzymes with neurotoxins. Once injected, the venom triggers searing pain and paralyzes the muscles. Its size is tiny, smaller than a pea, and for most of its adult life, it rarely leaves its spot. So its strategy is simple: turn anything that wanders into the trap into prey. When night falls, as most creatures drift into sleep, the black widow begins its work. It leaves the nest and starts laying silk, strand by strand, tying each to fixed points, stretching and crossing them. Throughout the night, it tirelessly builds its trap. By morning, more than 200 threads crisscross the space, forming a complex, sturdy, deadly web. From here, it simply waits for a foolish victim to wander in. But it doesn't expect its first visitor of the day to be a fearsome challenge, a bulldog ant. On its new hunt, the bulldog ant searches for food for its larvae. It knows this environment well. Cool, shaded places hide plenty of insects. Thinking it will find a good haul, it enters a hollow log, but freezes at the sight inside. There's no sign of life, only corpses of its own kind. Layers of spider silk stretch across the space. At first, it still believes its strength can break through the webbing, but it will soon pay the price for its overconfidence. Black widow silk has exceptional durability, even stronger than Kevlar fibers used in armor. Its surface coated with powerful adhesive. Even when torn, the strands cling tightly, making movement nearly impossible. Vibrations race across the web, alerting the spider that the trap has sprung. The black widow senses something has entered its silk maze. Normally, the bulldog ant could tear through a few strands and escape. But this web is too dense, too reinforced. Each sticky thread coils around its legs, draining its strength as joint fluid builds under strain. Each step becomes heavier, more labored. By the time it realizes it's trapped, it's already too late. From the damp darkness, the redback spider slowly approaches. It does not rush. Experience has taught it that patience secures the kill. The bulldog ant fights wildly, stretching its jaws to clamp onto the spider as it draws near. But the black widow is far more cunning. It exploits the ant's desperation, forcing the bulldog ant deeper into the dense web. Within moments, all 6 legs are glued tight, nearly immobilized. This is the perfect moment. The spider lunges in. At this close range, the ant should still be able to counterattack with its jaws or venomous stinger. But the spider has one more trick. With its front legs, it expertly winds silk, loop by loop, around the ant's jaws. Under the tension of the web, the bulldog ant is lifted off the ground. It thrashes in desperation, but the more it struggles, the tighter the silk pulls. The redback spider remains patient. It pulls more silk from its abdomen with its hind legs. Each new strand tightens further around the ant's head and jaws, rendering its strongest weapon, those steel-like mandibles, useless. But the bulldog ant still has a trump card, the razor-sharp stinger at its abdomen. If given the chance, it could inject venom 6 times stronger than a honeybee's, enough to fell almost any foe. It twists its body, seeking to swing the stinger toward the enemy. Yet, the black widow is a seasoned hunter. It keeps a perfect, safe distance, revealing no opening. Rounds of silk, layer upon layer, are reinforced. Time passes, and the ant's strength drains away. It can barely struggle. At one point, the clever ant feigns surrender. It stops thrashing, conserving its last energy in the hope of a sudden chance to counterattack. Meanwhile, the redback continues its packing work without haste. Layers of white silk wrap the doomed body tightly. As it reaches the abdomen, where the ant hides its final weapon, the ant suddenly surges, pouring every ounce of remaining strength into a last strike. But the blow is feeble, unable to pierce the dense silk, and this time it fails completely. Now it understands why no fellow ants ever warned of this place. Because no one survives to leave. Bound tight in layers of silk, the bulldog ant waits helplessly for its fate. The creeping dread of imminent death exhausts it further. Only now does the Black Widow truly move in for the kill. In a lifetime of less than 3 years, a single redback can consume up to 150 different insects, and each successful hunt adds to its experience and its patience. Only when the prey is fully subdued does it deploy the final weapon. Two long, razor-sharp fangs with formidable piercing power, they easily penetrate the hard chitin shell of the bulldog ant. A stream of neurotoxic venom is injected instantly, and in seconds the victim's nervous system seizes. The bulldog ant lies completely motionless, but this is not yet the end. The spider continues to pump a digestive enzyme-filled fluid into the prey. This liquid acts as a powerful solvent, breaking down internal organs from within. In less than 20 minutes, the insides have become a nutrient-rich broth. Then the spider leisurely sucks it up, sated and easily digesting. A lavish meal. With this prize, the redback can live comfortably for weeks without hunting. The duel between two of the insect world's fiercest warriors has ended. On one side, raw muscle, ferocity, and the lone tactics of the bulldog ant. On the other, patience, guile, and the deadly trap of the Black Widow. And this time, cunning has triumphed over strength.